what's better than earning money from a 9-to-5 job? It's earning money while you sleep, which is made possible if you start investing. You're listening to the Real Estate Investing Demystified with your very own dynamic duo, Ava Benisaki and August Biniaz. Tune in as we discuss everything real estate, both on the passive and active sides. We feature life-changing stories of today's real estate leaders that will help build your own roadmap to success. This is a show that will lead you to a diversified portfolio, a much bigger revenue, and a next-level venture that brings you a smooth cash flow. Let's get this episode started.
August Biniaz with Real Estate Investing Demystified. We're here in Dallas at the Brad Sumrok event, and we're with our friend Nate Dodson, right?
Great to be here.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
And
you nailed it.
Yeah, you're with Crowdfunding Lawyers, law firm that does securities, law, does corporate law, all kinds of good. Tell us a little bit about your firm, and We'll go from there.
I am the managing partner over at Crowdfunding Lawyers. We are one of, if not the largest, syndication and real estate firm, just by the sheer number of deals that we do every year. I help close real estate, kind of commercial, multifamily, build to rent type opportunities coast to coast. So we're kind of just that one-stop shop. Have done literally hundreds a year of these.
Amazing, yeah. And a lot of time people hear the word syndication and they associate it right away with real estate, but syndication can be done with anything. You can buy a business, you can buy an asset, doesn't matter what it is, but syndication can be used in any of that. You help clients in somewhat of a diverse, not only real estate, but other asset classes as well?
Yeah, real estate has just been huge for so long, but really right now what we're seeing a ton of interest and traffic on is actually business M&A. We have,
mergers and acquisitions.
And acquisitions. It's been a huge story of like the baby boomers. It's time for them to retire. They've got cash flowing business that they built through their life. Well, you know what? They want to retire and sell it. So now's a great opportunity to buy into those cash flowing profitable businesses. It's still a syndication.
Yeah. Let me just ask you a quick question on that. So when you are buying a business, can you put debt on it and then syndicate an equity portion of it? I'll hold it for you, not a problem.
You nailed it. A lot of it is seller finance. You may have some bank financing or working capital as part of it. You always need equity. There's just no way around it. So that's the syndication portion.
Tremendous. And now we find ourselves in kind of post-COVID, post-distress era where the Fed raised interest rates, I think, 11 times. And then they just decreased rates now after 4 years. There was a lot of groups found themselves in distressed territory, foreclosures, even large Goliaths like Blackstone. They had to give the keys back to some deals in Las Vegas as well. Are you seeing any of your clients that are in distress? If they are in distress or close to foreclosure, do you assist them in that aspect? Talk to us a little bit about the bad of the business, the negative of the business, really.
It's been, without a doubt, a tough couple of years. There are a lot of, I would call them vulture funds, but even our clients are doing quite a few of these. They're preferred equity type opportunities where they're going into the distress and the problem properties, but they're taking a prioritized position. So when things turn around, when it goes well, they know they're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and this is not pref equity fund that comes in at the beginning of the deal because you can't get the total equity, you can't get the total debt from the bank, and they come in as supplemental. This is rescue capital or rescue, as you mentioned, vulture funds that come in when they find distress. They raise the money on that thesis to come in and rescue these groups. But in most cases, are they wiping the initial investor equity, or are they trying to preserve some of that? How does that work?
So what you're talking about is mezzanine finance, and yeah, it's kind of the same thing whether you're just closing or later down the business, the opportunity cycle. Generally, these properties are already having problems. Either maybe they get foreclosed on, keys to the bank, you never know, but these vulture funds, these pref equity, the mezzanine finance, they will come in, but they're still demanding that 10, 15% preferred return, that they get their principal back, plus they get their preferred return before the equity investors receive anything. It is a way to save some, if not all, of the investor cash, However, them getting a return on their money, it gets to be way more difficult.
It'd be too dilutive to the investors. Now, do they allow the sponsor, the GP, to keep working and stay in for operations, or do they switch the GP out? What happens there?
Absolutely, they leave the GP in the deal as long as they tend to have more stringent requirements for reporting, for maintaining pro forma expectations, and if there's another stumble, the pref equity investors may come in for control. They don't take the initial investors' interest, they don't take the sponsorship interest, but they take over control, and their big concern is, let's get our money out and done. So it really hurts if they have to do it.
Sounds good. Let's talk about a little bit compliance. I mean, that's an important factor of a securities lawyer. You want to stay compliant, you hire a securities lawyer. Talk to us about a common mistake syndicators, people who go out there and raise money to buy real estate in particular, could be done on any asset class. Talk to us about some common mistakes that are made by people raising money, triggering some compliance issues if they're not following certain rules and regulations. What is the common one that you're seeing?
So something that a lot of people don't understand is generally investigations, regulatory actions, it comes from investor complaints. And as long as you're treating the investors with the respect that they deserve, it is their money, reporting to them on a regular basis, whether it's good information or bad information, but offering that transparency of what's really going on actually saves sponsors from a lot of investigations, potential lawsuits, and audits. So that's when the deals are moving down the road. Initially, the biggest mistake is, well, I'm doing this 506B and I get in front of a room, do a seminar or a webinar, and then just start pitching it. There are ways to do it. It's just not that one way.
Just very briefly, we have some Canadian viewers as well. In Canada, the regulatory framework is totally different when it comes to public advertising and what have you. But in the US, it's somewhat clear-cut. If you have a couple of exemptions to use, the 506B, B for Bravo, where you cannot advertise, you can only sell securities to people you have a pre-existing relationship with, and the Securities Commission really defines what that pre-existing relationship means, and you're maxed out at 35 non-accredited investors who you have a pre-existing relationship with, and I believe unlimited accredited investors within that exemption.
That is correct.
So the mistake people are making is using that exemption, but then advertising to the members of the public, bringing people that are not, there's no pre-existing relation. That seems to be a common one. That's what I've heard over the years as well. It seems to be a common one. And safe way is just to use the 506C, go ahead there and make things more safer.
And there's other options too. There's actually a regulation crowdfunding that you can bring in an unlimited number of non-accredited investors, up to $5 million per year. So there's different strategies. It really is important to work with a securities syndication attorney that has been there, that knows what they're doing, and actually knows the opportunities and options. At the end of the day, anything is possible, but it's a matter of start with the goal and work backwards to ensure you're legal.
Absolutely. One more important point before we go back. We know you're pretty busy. You're speaking as well. But let's talk about one thing that seems to be very common at CPI Capital. We've made the decision, we've made a decision that the word guarantee will never be used. We're so adamant on this, even at home with my wife and my family, I never use the word guarantee. I try to take that word completely out of my life. But talk to us about the word guarantee. Can the term guarantee be used anytime, or is it just a safe thing to never use the word guarantee?
Well, you just nailed two words that you should never say: guaranteed and safe. Nothing about private investments, nothing about investing is safe. Nothing is guaranteed. You don't have a crystal ball. So never use the guarantee, never say safe. Just be realistic with not only your investors, but yourself, that the markets can change, problems can occur, there could be losses. That ain't safe, and that's not guaranteed.
Incredible. Let's switch the conversation. Last question for you here. We are at a Brad Sumrok event. There is an atmosphere of hoorah, and Brad is known for that, but some people appreciate it. I appreciate it, for example. But at the same time, there is a survival fallacy aspect when it comes to any business, particularly also the syndication business, where a lot of people come in, but they don't survive, and the cream rises to the top. What have you seen? Is this a business for the everyday person to get involved and have success in, or a business, for example, I've been in real estate for 20 years and I still learn new things within the syndication business that I've been in for 5 years, the real estate, private equity space. Is this a business that's attainable from your everyday person? I mean, I'm not talking about blue collar, I'm talking about somebody that's maybe an MBA or somebody who's a CPA, somebody who's an attorney. For a somewhat level of sophisticated person, is this business possible? Should they explore it?
I'll be honest, blue collar, you can do it. It's a matter of the education, the mentorship, and making sure that you're doing things properly along the way. Nobody should just jump out there and say, I'm going to raise capital, I'm going to do this deal. You have to have the right ammunition, being the guidance, the support. And like with the Sumrok ecosystem, it provides that team atmosphere so you can learn from very experienced syndicators.
Amazing. I promise last question, but last one here, promise. We hear this old adage about chicken or egg, but in real estate syndication is the deal or the money. What is your idea? Should the people go out there, find a deal, then go raise the money? Should they go raise the money, then find a deal? What? Just give us quickly your answer on that.
The answer is yes. But the reality is...
Which one? The answer is yes. Yes to which one?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Different approaches for different people. If you have the potential investors in your network, the most powerful thing is to pick up the phone and just start talking to people. However, if you don't have already prior investors in your network, start marketing today about, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm interested in. Here's why I like syndications, apartments, business. Just get out there and let as many people know about it. So when you do have that deal, now you got the list to pick up that phone.
Amazing. Let people know how they can reach out to you, reach out for your services. If they had a question, how do they can contact you?
Find us anytime at crowdfundinglawyers.net.
Crowdfundinglawyers.net. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.